You're watching Kval Weather with Seth Wayne.
We finally got those sun breaks. It took a while for them to finally pop out, but we are getting that sunshine at the 6 o'clock hour. We welcome you back to Kval News with this live view of Eugene under partly cloudy conditions. In fact, we're going to hold on to the partly to mostly cloudy sky overnight tonight. We're also going to be looking at that afternoon sunshine. I am forecasting those clouds to burn off a bit quicker than they finally did today, but we'll get that Friday afternoon sun with some weekend warmth. And those temperatures will be back to those low to mid 70s as we're sitting at right now come next week. 55 is the dew point, 53% your relative humidity. Across our great state, we're at 70s, low to mid 80s, even some upper 80s as you travel close to the Idaho border. But closer to home, still not half bad. We have that sunshine in Roseburg that's making it in the mid 70s, 74 degrees, 64 Coos Bay, North Bend, 61 in Newport, and low to mid 70s throughout the I-5 corridor after highs from about 71 in Portland, 74 in Salem. And we round out the day with 73 here in Eugene. A touch warmer down in the Rogue Valley, 83 in Medford, 76 in Roseburg, and 68 in Coos Bay and North Bend. Still picking up a pocket of showers, finally passing through the Portland metro on over through Government Camp, so the northern half of the state dealing with some scattered rain. And I am forecasting that wet weather to stay to the north of us as we are enjoying those sun breaks. It's all in efforts of this ridge of high pressure that continues to dominate. At least it's maturing as we speak. And with that said, it's really going to gain strength come the weekend, and that's going to pump in some much needed warmth for most of us, right? I know we kind of like, it's July? What? Well, it'll feel more like July, and some hot weather is making a comeback thanks to this ridge of high pressure that will finally mature through the weekend and pump in some of that moisture and pump in some of that warmth down from the southern states. So we take a look at our storm vision, which takes all of our computer models and basically looks at them into the future. And we look at our future and come 10 a.m. on Friday, where it looks to be pretty clear. Yes, we're going to be dealing with some clouds in the morning, but I am forecasting those clouds to burn off. So tomorrow afternoon looks to be beautiful. And then as we make our way into Saturday and Sunday, for you sun worshipers and for those folks who really want the warmth, certainly going to be the weekend for you as daytime highs could be in the low to mid 90s, mainly in Douglas County and in the southern and eastern portions of the state. But across the rest of the country, heat indices, and I'm sure you've been talking to relatives, they are way up there, well above 100 degrees. That's what it feels like in nation's midsection, also in the portions of the northeastern part of our country. But back here to the mild northwest, where we're looking to wrap up the week in Waldport at about 58, 59 in Yachats, and 64 degrees in Florence, while our south coast friends looking at a mix of sun and clouds. Coos Bay, North Bend, 67, same in Bandon and Port Orford, upper 60s in Gold Beach and Brookings, and that extended forecast again calling for 68 Saturday, 69 on Sunday, and mid-60s with a mix of sun and clouds will continue into a good chunk of next week. Across the Umpqua Basin, mostly sunny. Roseburg 79, 80 in Myrtle Creek, about 82 in Canyonville. How about 92? So we're really climbing up there. 92 on Sunday, but back to the 70s with some additional cloud cover come next week. In the Cascades, 67, mostly sunny up in the mountains, both in Bend and Redmond. Going to be a great weekend to hit the high deserts. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s, if not 80. And throughout the Willamette Valley, where we are looking at that afternoon sunshine in Eugene and Springfield, and that's going to help us get to about 78. So a warmer day tomorrow, 78 in Cresswell and Cottage Grove, and that extended forecast 85 on Saturday, 88 on Sunday, and then clouds will increase, slightly cooler though come next week.
Oh, it does sound good.
It sounds nice. Soak it up.
All right.
Thanks, Seth.
Thank you, Seth. A helicopter pilot who works for a Medford company made a daring landing last week in Colorado. P.J. Hunt rescued the climber off a mountain. Now, the climber had a badly injured leg, and Hunt made a tricky toe-in landing with the helicopter skid touching the ground. The climber was found after activating a personal locator beacon.
Next on Kval News, he's named after a giant flying turtle from Godzilla, but now he has a wheel for a leg. How's he doing? You'll find out next on Kval News.
First, fair, accurate. You're watching Kval News.
A Kval follow-up now on that cougar that was seen roaming the hills of South Eugene. Yesterday, we told you about a cougar spotted along Blanton Road right by a popular trailhead. Wildlife officials put up a warning sign. Today, a Kval employee driving by that trailhead said he saw the cougar too. By the time our crew got there, the cougar had slipped back into the woods. A hiker we talked to said he still planned to go for his walk, but not without protection.
But this is the first time I've armed myself in a long, long time, because it is a little scary. They can kill people.
If you see a cougar, make sure you stay calm, don't turn your back, and act large and in charge.
Well, a weekend full of food, film, and a big fiesta right here in Eugene, Springfield.
Kval's Kelly Koopmans joins us with your Weekend Watch.
There are plenty of events happening this weekend, and if you don't already have plans, I have a couple ideas for you to consider.
From gourmet waffles to divine cupcakes, the finest local fare is available at this year's Bite of Eugene. The event showcases Lane County's culinary scene. Be sure to check out the Iron Chef competition. The winner will represent Eugene in a statewide cook-off. The action begins at 11 o'clock Saturday morning at Alton Baker Park. Admission is free and donations are welcome. And are you hungry for something south of the border? Well, head on over to the 20th Annual Fiesta Latina. That's at Island Park in Springfield. This year's headliner is Los Caminantes, Billboard chart toppers from Mexico. In addition to music, the event features piñatas and face painting. It's $5 for adults and free for kids 10 and under. Then there's a film for a cause. You can check out the outdoor showing of Despicable Me at Willamette High School's Wolverine Stadium. That's happening Friday night at 9. The showing will help raise money for a memorial garden in honor of Eugene police officer Chris Kilcullen. Kilcullen died in the line of duty in April. The giant screen event is $3 a person or $10 per family. If you go, be sure to bring a blanket or a lawn chair.
For more information on these events and more things happening this weekend, head to kval.com/events. And while you're there, feel free to check out the other events happening this weekend or even add your own. With your Weekend Watch, I'm Kelly Koopmans, Kval News.
Well, check this out. A 12-year-old tortoise on wheels. This African spur-thighed tortoise got hurt in the spring, had to have his left leg amputated, so vets up at Washington State University fitted him with a swiveling wheel attached to his shell. The vets say he's adjusting well to the change. His name is Gamera, and experts at WSU say these kinds of tortoises have been around a long time. They've been known to live as long as 56 years and weigh as much as 230 pounds.
I'll be able to get along even better.
Wow. More than a dozen people have commented or liked this story on our Facebook page. How could you not? Become a fan of Kval News to check out what we're working on, what people are talking about, and what goes on behind the scenes. Just search Kval News on Facebook.
Coming up in Kval Sports, what does a former Pac-10 baseball coach have to say about the future of the Beavers' Pat Casey? That's coming up.
Plus, this week's Wide World of Golf takes us north of the border. Tom Ward is here next with Kval Sports.
Kval Sports with Tom Ward starts right now.
The future of Oregon State baseball is uncertain now that Pat Casey is reportedly thinking about stepping down as head coach. Casey's good friend and current Emeralds manager, Pat Murphy, said he spoke to Casey yesterday about the report, but the former ASU head man wouldn't say which way Casey is leaning.
I think whatever Pat decides, I think it's a gutsy move to step away. I think most people don't have the guts sometimes to let their ego drop all that attention and all that kind of stuff. I think he's just a beautiful man. He's a wonderful man, and I think he's accomplished a lot in college baseball, and I think he's just special enough maybe to walk away.
Casey's decision is expected in the coming weeks. This week's Wide World of Golf stretches beyond the borders of the United States and takes us north to Canada, where world-class golf awaits you in the Columbia River Valley. Due north from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, lies the Columbia Valley in eastern British Columbia, Canada, and some of the most spectacular scenery you'll find in golf. A quartet of courses are at the center of the Columbia Valley Golf Trail. The first stop is Eagle Ranch in Invermere.
Kind of three different sections. So resort style to start off with for 6 holes, and then a little bit of canyons, a little bit of tree lined, and then you get up in the last few holes there, and it's wide open. At
Eagle Ranch, the Kootenai Rockies are to the east and the Purcell Mountains are to the west, leaving you with snow-capped views almost anywhere you look. A few miles north in Radium, the Radium Springs course sits on the high bluffs that make up the banks of the Columbia. It's not uncommon to see bighorn sheep sunning themselves or even a bald eagle or two.
Just behind me here is the wetlands, which is the second largest wetlands in North America. So it's obviously a protected area, and Something we cherish here as well. It also provides great opportunities for hiking in some of the different areas in that respect. So there are other things to do here rather than just golf.
Back in Invermere, Copper Point Golf Club is a journey through forested areas out into sprawling meadows and over gentle ravines, offering up a stiff challenge.
The land, how you see it, is how it was when we got here. Pretty natural type course where you see a lot of trees, a lot of brush.
A 12.5-mile drive into the Purcells brings you to Grey Wolf Golf Course in Panorama, and one of the most distinctive layouts in golf. A ski area during the winter, Grey Wolf is akin to golfing in the Alps, with stunning views on every hole.
You get a really different view of the valley from up here in the mountains, and the playability is just as good as the other golf courses, so people really enjoy the neat views and vistas, and you get a bit more of elevation change up here than some of the other courses, and it's a really neat treat for people to come up and see it.
We've got a gold mine up here for courses. I feel the courses up here are as good as any I've played anywhere, so we're definitely lucky up here.
A treat outside the border.
Beautiful.
Wow, beautiful stuff. Thank you, Tom. Coming up at 11 o'clock on Kval News, a Springfield homeowner loses his possessions, even his truck, to burglars, but he's not letting the crooks get away with it. We'll tell you how this man is working with police to catch the burglars and get them behind bars. That's coming up on Kval News at 11.
Thank you for joining us for Kval News at 6.
We'll see you at 11 o'clock.
A century of service and innovation. Fisher Communications.